Hi, welcome back. Um, just warming up the video situation here. Today is a little bit of a different one. I wasn't expecting to, you know, do something that was uh, like cosmetic, but let me take these off. But too much glare. But yeah, so we're just cultivating the dream, in the homestead, and so I just decided to come on and do a quick little video. I guess it's just something that came up, so I figured I'd deliver, and or at least try to deliver. What am I delivering? I'm gonna try, and so we're talking about hair, I guess. I would say growing hair or whatever, but I think that all these things kind of just go together. Someone asked me to make a video about my hair and I guess how long it is or things in general. I guess I think things in general because it may lead to long hair. Just to recap, my hair is this long and then this long and this long. So that comes down to, those are my legs, to about here. And I don't straighten my hair, so I think that if it was straightened, it'd be like super long. Because right now it kind of fluffs and curls. It's not as curly. It's not curly at all now. It's just kind of like, I don't know, fuzzy, big, because I brushed out all the curls. And that kind of takes me to like how things were like my whole life. Well, up until a certain point. Like my hair was always like corkscrew curls, like the ones that are like a wine key. And, my hair was always pretty long, I guess, relatively speaking, because I never, this is the first, every day is a first for me nowadays, like uncharted territory. So I always had, longish hair, and I never straightened it. Like I got it straightened like maybe 3 times unprofessionally, just at home. So, but otherwise, the average length was about corkscrew type curls. My hair gets straighter underneath. You can kind of see like underneath my hair is naturally straighter, and then if you get up here in this area, it's curly. So now all the curls have pretty much fallen. So I have to kind of wash my hair and put it in a top knot or top bun, and then let it air dry, and then put it down and let it air dry some more, and then I'll get my curls back. And then like after it's dry and I brush it out and maybe put it in a braid or something like that, it'll straighten out. But I don't put heat on my hair, so that's one maybe reason why my hair has grown. But I think that's a contributing reason. I haven't cut my hair in, oh wow, 7 years or so. Another thing that may have contributed was I taught English in Korea, and my host family's mother, she had a sister, and I tutored her sister's sons who were in high school and middle school. And her sister wanted to give me a thank you gift for tutoring them, and she started cutting my hair. And at that time, it was like to the middle of my back, and she cut it up to like my shoulders. And then that's when I told her to like stop, like that's that. And then after that, my hair just dropped. I think that the haircut was good because not necessarily like maybe cutting it shorter, like up to here. And this is curly, like it was wet, but it was like curly, so maybe around here. Maybe cutting it to a length that was shorter than I ever had it before contributed to these things, to length. But another thing is that the haircut, I think, was like a quality professional haircut, and she used razors as well as hair shears. And I think when it grew, all the areas of my head, I could go as far as to say all the strands had somewhere to grow into. But what I mean by that is sometimes when I gave myself my own haircuts when it was curly, I would let my hair air dry and then wait for the curls to kind of show where the damage was, and then I would go in with hair shears myself and cut off the parts that were turning kind of like gnarly at the ends, and that would kind of like separate the curls and kind of give them a place to go, room to breathe, things like that. So I think with this haircut, the haircut that I got allowed my hair, like each area, no matter how big or small, just gave it like arm room, arm and leg room, kind of like on a plane, and you're able to like have a little elbow room basically. So my hair had some elbow room, and I just never had a need to cut it after that. My curls all just dropped, and then before you know it, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years later, I had like curly hair that was really long, like fully curly, but to like past the middle of my back, like to my waist. And then it was just like something's up, and that's when I just knew that things had changed. So then you fast forward another 4 years, and now my hair, when it's brushed out or whatever, it's it's past my hips. It's like 5 inches down my legs, so somewhere in there. So how I take care of it is like, I don't take care of it. Like, I put olive oil on my hair and I put coconut on my hair. I usually alternate, like whatever is closest, but I also do the same as I do with my food. Like, one thing that stuck out to me when I met my aunt for the first time, when I went to Jamaica for the first time, is that she was commenting that there they eat by the seasons. And here in the United States, we have everything all year round. And, that struck a chord with me. It's like you're getting different nutrients at different times of the year. Here, I just try to eat all the colors. And this is kind of like a side reason, but I try to eat all the colors of fruits and vegetables, and I try to eat all the meats at some time or another. I've been vegan before, so during that time, my hair didn't stop growing, but I always tried to keep up on the colors of my food and good fat contents like avocados and macadamia nuts and things like that. So the food, I think, is a big factor because my nails grow pretty naturally as well. So I think the two go together. And but I do put on weight. These things don't happen, and I just, like, I don't limit myself with what I eat. Like, I do to a degree, like where I don't like lose control. I don't tend to buy packages of things that might put weight on me, but I still eat them to some degree. Like right now in my freezer, the things that I have that aren't so hot for me are individually packaged hamburger. It's a cheeseburger, but I take the cheese off, and I have a breakfast sandwich, a breakfast biscuit, sausage, egg, and cheese. I take the cheese off of that too. It's usually the cheeses on those aren't such high quality cheese, so I kind of like choose my battle a little bit. If I'm going to eat cheese, it's going to be good cheese. Otherwise, I don't eat too much cheese. I try not to eat too much dairy. And I try not to eat gluten because I am gluten intolerant. Not intolerant, like I'm just going to like it's not so bad, but it is kind of bad because like those things have buns and bread and whatever. Like one day of eating it, I'm pretty cool. But if I eat it twice in a day, I'm going to start to feel it in my body, but in my skin. It comes out through my skin as eczema. And then if I eat it those two things and then ramen the next day, I'm surely going to get a patch of eczema on my hands. That's where it comes, on my fingers. So I avoid those things. That might be a help. I drink lots of water. I try just to drink spring water. But I drink tap water when I can, or when I haven't gotten to the store to buy another gallon. I will drink tap water. Sometimes I put lemon in my water. I drink teas. I drink lots of coffee, and I drink fake milk in my coffee. I drink almond milk, but then also like the mini moos that are like half and half, but you don't have to refrigerate them. Uncool, but I drink them. I drink it black too, it's cool, but I haven't been so into black coffee because this is kind of like a side note, but I had a craving for creamy, delicious coffee, like the way that I used to get at Starbucks, like espresso with just a ton of cream in it. So I went from drinking black coffee and then wanting that and then duplicating something like it at home, and then I never really turned back. Like sometimes if I'm eating fruit or something, I'll go back to drinking a black coffee with that. So that's making a full circle. I try to cycle through varieties of fruits, things that have antioxidants. I try to drink green tea and that kind of stuff very often. Like right now I have sorrel tea with lemon. I've started drinking this first thing in the morning. No sweetener, but sweetener's not too shabby. I just eat a variety of foods, and I just think that contributes to a happy body, and I think that contributes maybe to happy hair. I don't do hair treatments, and that's because of laziness. Yes, I'm not downing myself, but I will admit that I need to be more onto deep conditioning treatments. The one that I have in mind is to put eggs on my hair. I do eat a lot of eggs. That's one thing. And I try to get my fair share of collagen and stuff like that, but that usually comes through in the form of like pork rinds. That's my idea, is that by eating pork rinds, I'm getting, whatever's good in pig skin. That's not totally killed off by deep frying it. Something's there, so I think. But I didn't always eat pork rinds. I just started eating them in recent years. But I have been eating them probably pretty regularly for the past 4 years. So I put my hair into a top knot. Like, I'll flip my head over And when I sleep, my hair is here. Like I just use like this type of band, and I'll try to, oh, I'll try to duplicate what I do. So I take my hair. This is just like what I would do like if I was gonna take a nap, because laying on my hair is like uncool. So what I do is I just do something like this, and it's not like so smooth, but see, and that's how I go to sleep. Like if I was gonna take like a nap, don't lay on my hair, because it just seems like it would mess it up. And usually I would do like a little bit better of a job than what I just did, but where's my hair? Where's my hair? Okay. So that's how I go to sleep at night, or from taking a nap. I think that top knots actually help hair to grow as well. I don't know, something about your hair being here just works. I usually don't put little things like this in my hair, like tying it into like a little ponytail, because I feel like this does like damage. But you know, I wanted to do something different, but I usually avoid ponytails. But I have started wearing these, and I have started doing like a high ponytail of like all my hair, and then I'll braid it. As far as like brushing it and combing it and things like that, when it was curly, I used to exclusively comb it out or brush it out in the shower. But then over the years, it like changed, and I try to keep my hair happy. That's another thing. Like I try to keep up with how it changes through the years. You know, like my hair used to like only being combed when it was wet, and it was like forbidden. You know, in my eyes, I forbade myself from like ever touching it with any utensil, hair utensil, when it was dry. Now I brush it out or comb it out when it's dry, like every day almost. If it's like in a braid on top of my head and I get lazy for that day, my hair may not get brushed, and I'm not tripping about it. Like if I skip a day of brushing it, or if I try not to skip too many days, or you know, my hair just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as good. So I try not to. Those days have come, but they're less frequent now. And if I forget to wash it, it's no big deal. You know, as far as like a schedule of washing it, once a week is pretty good. But if I go over that, I'm not tripping too much, because I do use like olive oil, and that has like antiseptic qualities to it. And sometimes like I'll clean my scalp with something, you know, witch hazel or something, but that's a little drying. And so I try to, you know, if I need to, I use what I use on my face as far as like a toner, which is homemade, and I use it on my scalp, and I'll clean my hair like that way, because I get like an overactive scalp. So sometimes I'll just do that. I figure it's like taking care of the skin, and then I go back in with like olive oil or coconut oil, like unrefined virgin coconut oil. If I know I'm gonna wash my hair soon, like I'll like lay it on, and then if I forget to wash my hair the next day, hey, it's no problem. It just sits on a little bit longer, and it's there when I am ready to wash it. I'm pretty laid back when it comes to my hair. I don't wash it with anything special now, just because it's what I have, but I do avoid sulfates by any means necessary. I will not wash if there's only a shampoo that has sulfates in it around, I'm either not washing my hair, or I'm doing some alternative method. And that alternative method would be like, if I have it, apple cider vinegar. Like, I'll just skip washing my hair. It just won't happen. No sulfates. Makes my hair fall out. Hair doesn't like it. Like all these little baby hairs, all of this little area. I wash it with sulfates, it just falls out. Do not use sulfates on your hair. Just don't. It makes your hair fall out. Don't. So I just think it's too harsh, you know? And as far as conditioner, I use whatever I have. Sometimes I'll leave it in. But lately it's just been too like oily feeling or something. I think maybe because it's summertime. It was cool for like the first couple times that I did it, and then it was just like, this is heavy. So I have a leave-in conditioner by Elasta. I think Elastic QP. And it's pretty good. It's a mango buttercream. But the thing is, the formula changed through the years. So, you know, I started using it like years ago, but then I noticed that it has changed. The packaging changed, and I think the formula changed. But I still bought it because it was one of the things that was like the most easily accessible, and that still continued to work well. And I didn't feel like experimenting in the stores. I also, when I have my preference, order the majority of the stuff that I use on my hair and face from eBay. But usually it's my face. Usually it's like serums and lotions and BB cream and stuff like that from eBay. What I was trying to do was find the kind of shampoos that I prefer, but what I have found and that I use lately is Castile soap. It's a little harsh, and it's, you know, it's not ideal, but it kind of is. I think I'm just not used to its style. But I started using that like a year ago, and it's pretty good. So I'm just not used to it yet, you know? And that's another thing of like kind of going with the flow. I don't do anything that's like hurting my hair. I think it's doing a good job, but I'm accepting like its good qualities. And I use it as long as I just keep it in like my mind, you know, like I know that it works well. And if I have to buy a different kind of shampoo in the future, then I do. But, you know, and then I cycle through things. I don't just use the same kind of shampoo for like years. I don't use the same kind of anything for years. And that's kind of going back to that food situation. I cycle through everything. I try to eat a variety of things, even things that are higher in fat, like pork. I never was really buying like meat, like pork meat. But then, you know, starting from like a month or two ago, I have been buying it relatively regularly. So, and then beef was the same. I was just eating turkey. I eat for my blood type as well, so that might be something. I'm B positive, and chicken isn't known. It's known to be not so hot for the B people, so I tend to avoid chicken. But my boxed food, especially like this Indian food that's just chicken, sauce, or gravy. I don't know what you call Indian sauce. It's really not even a sauce. It's like what is the simmering part that's deliciousness that the meat goes in. It's just chicken, that, and rice. But I love it, and I eat it. I don't buy cuts of chicken unless I feel like frying it, or if I have like a certain thing that I want to cook that uses chicken, or if it's like a chicken salad sandwich or something. I don't know, but it has to be something specific. It's kind of like that gluten thing. I like choose my battles. So back to the hair care thing. I try not to put anything else in my hair past the mango butter or the hair butter. So I do have some gel. I have LA Looks gel, and it will make your head itch. It will make your head flake up a little bit if you use too much, especially. And when it was curly, I would use that more often, but now I don't, because when you start brushing your hair out when it's dry, that will flake up, but it also holds the curl, and it's just, my hair is in a different circumstance now. So it's like I just try to make sure that I'm accommodating my hair and taking care of it as to the best of my ability. Now, deep treatments and all that kind of stuff, I'd say the deep treatment that I use is like oil. And one thing about the oils that I use is that I'll use anything that really doesn't have a smell. Not like, vegetable oil, or lard, or, margarine or butter or something like that, but walnut oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, olive, walnut, coconut, avocado, I don't know if I'm repeating myself. Pretty much anything that's on the shelf. I just, grapeseed, as long, like, I don't use sesame seed oil because the smell is just too heavy and strong for me. So, but I'm sure it would do well in some way because it's really thick, and I'm sure that there's lots of like cool little properties to it. I feel like every oil comes from a different source, so it must have different properties that must be good for my hair in some way. I haven't seen my hair start to break off or become angry or upset. When I start seeing my hair or my skin become angry about something, like these little breakouts that can't see them now because they're healing up, but as soon as that started to happen, I was like, I gotta change this situation. If my hair starts getting pissed off, I start changing the situation. I just stop and I try to assess what's going on. Like, we need to correct this. What am I using that this is happening? That's causing this to happen. So to finish out, I use apple cider vinegar on my scalp once in a while, maybe once a month. And what I've started using during the past month, or about 2 or 3 months, has been fermented rice water. When I rinse my rice, I save the water, and they say fermenting it makes it work better. But whether it's fermented or not, I'll use it. But if it's too far past, if it starts to smell too bad, if it goes past 3 days, I'm not with it, at all. And it's not even smelling that bad. If it's smelling that bad, it's just been in there too long. But I just don't like the smell of I'm not used to it. I don't know how long, but I think 3 days is cool for it to be ripe, but not overripe, and foul. So I have been using that. I watched a documentary about some ladies in China who have super long hair, and they say that that's part of why. And then I've seen that pop up in a lot of videos, starting from Michelle Phan, years ago, when she used to say to use it on your face. And then I heard about it years later to use it in your hair, and I kind of skipped over it. And then the documentary about the Chinese ladies in this remote village that they use it. Then I was like, hey, let me try that. And so I would just keep my water, and then if I remember to, if everything lines up, if it's if I'm going to wash my hair and it's within those 3 days, then I'll do it. And then if I'm outside the time, just forget about it. And when I make rice again, I just start over, and I just keep a bottle of rice water in my fridge in a glass bottle. So I think that's that, at least for now. I don't go to salons. I don't color my hair. I colored my hair in college a few times. I tried going blonde, and I only got the same color as my skin. You couldn't see my hairline. So then that night I dyed my hair black. it was it was messed up, man. It was no bueno. I didn't try to bleach it and lift it and all that professional ish. I just used it straight out of the box and was like, my hair is gonna turn out like this. Like, it was years until I really learned like what people do in salons and how to achieve color. But I also dyed my hair like, the quintessential like England red, like just straight box red. Not saying that the ladies in England like just use box red, but there's a certain red that's popular in the UK and maybe Europe. I think Europe. And so it's just a box red here, and I've done my hair that color. That was pretty cool. And then like a darker brown, because my hair is like, medium brown, and it also has like kind of like, it's hard to see on camera, but my hair is like lighter, like a coppery brass kind of color. So I dyed it like a darker brown. That was 15 years ago. Well, probably closer to 20 years ago, because it was at the beginning of my university career. Towards the end, I was like, forget about it. And I've never had my hair dyed in a salon. I've never had it straightened in a salon. I think the only thing that I've really had done was going to like a Great Clips and getting my hair cut there, thinking that was going to be the start of me going in and getting my hair done somewhere. Otherwise, I've never been to a salon. Yeah, it's wild. So with the proper techniques, I'm down for someone straightening it, but only if it can be like non damaging. And then if they have to go in and cut it, I'm thinking that something's gonna mess my haircut up, and so I really don't want that. But if we can get around that situation, I'm totally down. So but I would like to try it, because my hair is fuzzy sometimes, and I'm okay with it being fuzzy. I don't try to manipulate it. And one thing I do manipulate it with is my combs. Like, I have 3 that I use. One is like a wide tooth comb, and then one is like a normal comb, like like an average women's comb. And then you have like the fine tooth comb that has like the rat tail on the end. I don't really use the rat tail for anything, obviously. When I part my hair, I'm very natural with things. Oh, and I'm very kind to my little widow's peak. It's off center, but I don't want to attack my widow's peak. It's delicate up here. And I'm easy on my hairline. That's why these little ponytails, they're not usually my thing, but they're a little bit loose. But I'm easy on my widow's peak. I'm easy on my baby hairs. I try not to do things that are tight or make my hair pissed off. So, but I will go through my hair, especially when it has like a lot of oil with it, and get all the tangles out with the wide tooth comb and patch up any areas that look dry with oil. And then if I get to a perfect place with the wide tooth comb, then I graduate to like the medium comb and then do that. And then that usually exposes like the driest parts of your hair. And it'll like seem like you're just slathering on oil, but that's just how it goes. And then to get a fine tooth comb, like a real fine tooth comb through my hair, like you've gone through some stuff, because my hair is thick, kind of. It gets really thin as it gets to like, in the camera, I'm like, where am I reaching to? I'm like looking at my screen, like, where do I reach? When I'm like here in reality, I don't know. But it gets really like thin towards the end, but you can kind of see like the stress of my hair. Like, my hair is starting to grow back, but right around here seems to be where it was like a stressful time in my life, because you can tell that near my scalp my hair is a lot thicker than it is towards the bottom, and it wasn't always that way. And another thing is when I'm keep on hearing stuff. Oh, they're working on something. So when I'm combing my hair, I try not to be angry because I'll have a tendency to like tear it out and be rougher, and I'll notice that it's coming out straight from the root. Like even with a comb, you can see like a little clump of like 3 to 5 hairs, maybe 3 or 4, but they're all together. And when you look at them, they just don't look like hair that's shedding. So learning when to stop is one thing, not getting mad or being in like a state where I'm tired. You know, not necessarily getting mad, but sometimes my hair will make me tired when I'm combing it. So even if I haven't gotten all the tangles out, if I start getting, my arms start getting tired, you know, or I just start getting like hungry or something, I'll stop and then continue later. That's one thing that I do, for sure. So yeah, I think there's more, but maybe I'll make another video about that because I had no idea that I was going to talk about my hair for like half an hour. I didn't know there was that much to talk about, and I still feel like on the tip of my tongue there's more. So we're just going to go ahead and like stop here for now. But yeah, I will talk to you later. I hope this helps. I hope it was interesting. So my hair. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.